Good evening, everybody, or should I perhaps say howdy. Welcome to Season 10, Round 2, around Circuit of the Americas for Division 4. Is this picking up my... Oh, I've got the thing muted. There we go, we're working. My bad. Hello, Frenchy Star. Good, or should I say, good eye. And if you are in Australia, that means it's Australia Day, I do believe. So, happy Australia Day, if you are actually Australian. If you're not, then why are you lying to me? Good evening, Petronas. Whoa! Oh, I thought you were being racist towards me, but it's okay. Good evening, Skull Kid and Legend. Right, we've got some cars on track. Got to stop getting distracted. Here we got Bradshaw's out first, and so is Dark Shadow. Let's have a little drink. I have come prepared this evening, as the drivers start to come out onto the track. Now, everyone's going really slowly. At this rate, that McLaren of TYG Rogue is going to be first around the track. So, my predictions for today. Where's Cocoms? Oh, you should know me, Petronas. Always on me ones. So, we had Old Manzi, I think, P3. I think Immortal won it. Who was P2? Well, the Alpha Tower is about to go on an outlap, so we'll ride on board with Bradshaw. Is it Bradshaw, is it? No, I like going it on my own. And I hope you get better from COVID. And as we start off this lap with Bradshaw, will he get turn 1 right? Ooh, a bit wide. I mean, I don't think we'll need to go for another run really. There's only 2 drivers getting knocked out of this one. I think it's just sort of a case of keep the tyres nice and fresh, make sure you don't invalidate for sure. It's going to make me dizzy if we keep riding on board like this. Going to have to change the angles as the race goes on. We've got a full race today, which I think means, actually, that it's not Q1, Q2, Q3. That it's... I haven't done a full race before. So, my good friends in the comments are going to have to help me out. A lot of the drivers coming through Sector 1 now, both Ferraris with Skull Kid and Martinez. Just had another purple sector, and I didn't actually see what, oh, he's invalidated anyway, so we've got Rogue. So we have a better idea of who is where. Rogue goes a 103 dead. Next is an Alfa Romeo of Kabuki. He does a 104.4, so he's a little bit further behind. MT the Mighty, he is quite quick. He does a 103.3. So I think Rogue is the fastest car on track at the moment. Next is Skull Kid. He's a 105.4. He's quite off the pace. Jamie is next. He's on 104.6, a little bit off it as well. Mr. Adam Moore, he is very fast, and he is so fast he's invalidated. And there goes TYG Rogue with the fastest so far. We are needing a 103 dead from Alves. He's quite off it. There's a Red Bull, that'll be... I've lost it, Stars. Oh no, it's not. It's someone who's... Gravedigger, 103.4. I could have sworn it was 103 dead from TYG Rogue. Anyway, there is a Red Bull, well, both Red Bulls are on an outlap and the AlphaTauri on an in-lap. So we'll ride on board one of the Red Bulls for the next part. Gravedigger keeping it nice and tidy. Should be looking at 134. Yeah, 134.2. That's a nice time from Gravedigger. Not enough to go P1, but it's a good time. We can now ride on board with Old Manzi. P, I think, 2 from last week. That's a much better line than what we saw from Bradshaw. As he takes us into the S section, we'll just get a little slightly different camera. 25.6 from Old Manzi. That says it's fastest lap. Sorry, the fastest sector 1, but do know the game likes to lie. That wasn't the best of turn-ins, but it's still quite good. One session qualifying, 56 lap race, at least an hour and a half. Thank you, RSF1 Hunt. Luckily for me, I'm a university student, so waffling is my speciality. As Old Manzi comes round. And he's on a 103.3, so we are looking at a sort of Gravedigger MT, the mighty time, so long as he keeps everything nice and tidy. We'll have a little look at what Stars is doing as well. Depending on who reaches the end of their sector first. Old Manzi's looking nice and fast, so we're just going to have a little look at Stars, because it doesn't really matter what happens now. 103.5, so Stars is looking at a 134.4 if he can keep everything nice and sorted. Oh, okay, now I reckon we're looking at a 134.9 Stars. I think it's going to put him between Bradshaw and Kabuki. So P6 is still alright for Stars, but obviously this is just as was specified to me. Alright, well, I wish you good luck, Skull Kid. I thought Stars just invalidated there. 135.5, that's not a great time. It's slower than I thought. But good luck, Skull Kid. I hope you do really well. Driving the Ferrari, you lucky devil. My first race was in a Haas, I think. If anyone cares. I think it was a Haas. And it was actually here. Anyway, no one cares about that. We've got people to look on board with as Immortal starts his lap. Now, he could be someone we want to keep an eye on. He did invalidate, I think, the first time, because I'm pretty sure this is the second time I've seen him come out. I'm going to have a drink of water. Blimey, a Renault! Ash goes to shower a long time with a nice bit of French engineering. So we've got fastest sector 1 from Immortal, but I don't necessarily trust it. We could be seeing both McLarens at a 1-2 here. As the session goes on, there's going to be a little bit more grip, and we're going to see the times come down. We're still waiting on Adam, who is just behind him, actually, so we'll compare him and Adam, because they're going to be quite close together. Dark Shadow is just behind them, so that's going to work out pretty well, and Carrot is in sector 1 as well, I believe. No, Carrot is further ahead. We're going to leave Carrot to side for now. It's 103.1 from Immortal, so far he is on course to being up there with Rogue. 104 dead from Mr. Adam Moore. That's not outstanding. And Dark Shadow is next. He's on a 103.6. That's an invalidation, so that's not great. And Carrot's up there, so we'll get back on board with Immortal. And Carrot actually goes P6, so maybe we should have paid a little bit more attention than I gave him credit for. Immortal comes across with a 134.1. And now we're going to go on to Mr. Adam Moore and see what he can do. It's probably going to be a 134 late, well, 135 dead, so that's not a terrible time for Mr. Adam Moore. But the two McLarens on pole, as I predicted last week. It's going to be a McLaren season. Rogue just needs to get the consistency down. He's got the speed, he just needs the consistency now, as is the problem with quite a few drivers, actually. I think Dark Shadow, something happened on his lap. He invalidated, didn't he? So are we going... I don't think this is another lap either. I think there's another cooldown. Yeah, as he gets out of the way for the Mercedes, who is actually on an in-lap, I think, or is MT the Mighty on an actual lap here? MT the Mighty might be on an actual lap here, so we're going to ride on board with MT because he's quite high up. Gravedigger's in the pits. Old Manzi. This is an in-lap, isn't it? I think from Old Manzi. Yeah, he's quite far off his time. MT's managed to improve by 0.2 on his time. It's going to be his third run. He'll be trying to get another run in as well, I'm sure, as will a lot of the drivers. That's what's going to make things a little bit difficult for keeping an eye on what everyone's doing, is because everyone's going to be doing things at different times, so I can't really juggle doing what I've been doing where I'm trying to look at individual sector times. We've got 2 Alfa Romeos out, they're both on their actual laps. I think Captain Kabuki behind, that is Kabuki behind, and he is also improving. MT the Mighty has improved by 0.1, so he's lost a little bit of time. We'll have a look at what Kabuki has improved by 0.7, so Kabuki's going to be going up to around a 134. I'm going to say he finishes with a 134.5. Let's hope for the best. So we're going to stay back with MT the Mighty, as he is 0.1 up on his time at the moment. So he is still looking at splitting the McLarens and getting himself into a little McLaren sandwich. But we're hoping to keep everything tidy as we come into the last sector now. And he keeps it very tidy and managed to slot himself nicely. And Kabuki, he does a 134.5, so it was about what I predicted. He goes P7. Bradshaw is not really doing anything. Alves, he's 0.8 improved on his time. I'm going to ride on board with the AlphaTauri. He's going to be looking at getting a 136 here, so he's going to need a little bit more improvement than that, Alves. We've got Dark Shadow as well coming through in sector. It's a 135.9 from Alves. That's not a bad time, but not a fantastic time either. Dark Shadow, he is starting his lap now, so we'll see what Dark Shadow can do. We've got Kabuki and Bradshaw on in-laps. Brick Grit is on a lap in Sector 1, so we'll just have a little look at what Brick Grit does as well. No, this is an in-lap, I think. So it is just going to be Dark Shadow. I don't think Alves... Is Alves going? No, Alves isn't going for it. So it's going to be Dark Shadow, the only person who's actually on a lap at the moment. I think MT is on an in-lap. Let me just double check that. Yeah, MT on an in-lap. We're going to ride on board with Dark Shadow. Oh, he lost it a little bit there. That's going to cost him a little bit of time coming into the middle part of Sector 2. Needs to keep it nice and tidy so we can keep things nice and straight here. That's fantastic. There we go. Nice and straight. Obviously, because he's on a straight. Thank you, Captain Obvious. How much of an improvement are we going to get from Dark Shadow? It is a 105.3, so he's 29 seconds up on his time. That is one hell of an improvement. Still a little bit difficult. It wasn't a great time. It was a 105 something, so we're still going to be looking at around Alves, Martinez, Skull Kid, Jamie, Brick Grit sort of area. Stars Orphan, I think, is on a lap now. Stars is on a lap. He's up on his time, down bad on his time though. He's not doing fantastic, so we're just going to get back on board with Dark Shadow. He's finished, so we'll go back to Stars as Dark Shadow gets himself up to P15. So he splits Skull Kid and Jamie. I don't think we're going to see much from Stars here. We've got Skull Kid who's on a lap on his first race. We'll see how the new boy driving the Ferrari. Oh, that looked like an invalidation to me, but the FIA disagree. He's actually 1.4 up on his time, so I'm not too sure what's happened to Skull Kid. We're going to go on to see if there's anyone else. I think the rest of the drivers now... Well, you've got to wait for the yellow flag to go away. So I just missed it. 3 minutes 35. I got to see it on the stream. So we've got 3 minutes left. We should start seeing some of the drivers coming out now. I think this is going to be an in-lap from Stars, so we'll just ride on board with him. Just so there we go. We've got old Manzi, who's going to take one from one Red Bull to another. And I looked at the chat temporarily, so I didn't actually see how he took that turn. I saw how he came out of it though, and it didn't look all that tidy. But we're going to see. Oh, that was. Ooh, he's a little bit like it coming in there, but that's not too bad from Old Man's. He's slightly improving on his time. I think it was 0.43 improvement, which is actually enough to get him up to Gravedigger. That's how close things are, but we're going to get a lot more drivers coming out in about 30 seconds, I think. Unless there are people who have just forgotten that it's one qualifying session. So that is, for anyone listening, there is just this qualifying session, and then we're going straight into the race, where I've got to try and find stuff to say. 56 laps, which I'm sure will be a dog. Albanzi then is coming through with a 103.1. It's a 0.1 improvement, and at the moment he is potentially looking at splitting Gravedigger and Immortal, and maybe even trying to get even higher than that if he can keep things nice and tidy. Coming into Sector 3, there's a yellow flag in Sector 3, I'm not too sure who that is. He'll be hoping that Alfa Romeo can get out of the way, and the Alfa Romeo is well out of the way, so no excuses for messing this one up, Old Manzi. I really like that line, and I like that line too. This is looking good for Old Manzi. It's a brilliant time from Old Manzi as he gets in front of TYG Rogue. The Red Bull is looking fast. He was not looking fast last week. He just had the race pace. This week, though, he's looking brilliant. Mr. Adam Moore is not doing great. What's Martinez getting up to? Gravedigger for the win, says BVB Thor. How come you're not here anymore, BVB Thor? And that is an invalidation from Martinez, so both the Ferraris are having a bit of a mare. TYG Rogue is starting his lap, so he is going to be looking to beat Old Manzi. I don't think Old Manzi is going to have enough time to be able to go for another one. There's 1 minute left, so Old Manzi is going to be sticking with what he has. TYG Rogue has only had one run. This is his second run. And there is Kabuki behind him, so we'll just compare the two. And 0.3 improvement from Kabuki. I didn't see what the improvement was from Rogue. It was an improvement though. Kabuki is up by 0.3, but it's not really going to be enough to be challenging Rogue just yet. Rogue is looking like he's going to be beating Old Manzi though for now. We'll be able to keep comparing Kabuki and TYG Rogue. There's a Ferrari, an AlphaTauri and a Mercedes coming into Sector 2 now. Now this is where it's going to be a little bit more important. It's a 0.3 improvement from him and a 0.7 improvement from Kabuki. So Kabuki looking at a 133.8, TYG Rogue looking at a 133.6. I would predict a 133.5 for Rogue and probably a 133, maybe a 0.8 for Kabuki as the checkered flag falls for Grit, Jamie, Stars, Dark Shadow and Liam. And MT the Might has just gone fastest. I should have been on board with that one. That is my bad. But TYG Rogue goes fastest and Kabuki goes second, so I think we made the right choices with where we were. We're going to have a look at Immortal. He's not improving enough in Sector 1. It's a big improvement though in Sector 2 as he's 0.108, 0.8, sorry. That's a 0.3 improvement, I think, from Immortal. I don't think Immortal's going to get in front of Rogue, but I think he might just about be able to get in front of Kabuki. We've got Gravedigger as well. He's invalidated, so that's him done. He's not going to be getting any higher. Mr. Adam Moore in the Haas is about to cross the line. He doesn't improve. It's a 134.9. And Immortal is going to be the last person, I think, who can improve, as he does a 133.7, and it's not even enough to go up a position, I don't think. Oh no, it is. He overtakes Old Manzi. My mistake. And Gravedigger bring it into the pits. Is Old Manzi's invalidated as well. So that is that. Whew. Yeah, same time from Immortal and MT. Old Manzi bringing it in as well. So take a good look at that. Stars Orphan struggling a little bit in the Red Bull, the Division 5 champion from a few seasons ago. Emotive Carrot up into P10, Grit in P12. There's quite a few drivers who are usually a little bit lower down than they are doing quite well, so hats off to you guys. And here we have it. So, look at all of those Union Jack flags. Anyway, we are looking at the final times. Martinez only went out on mediums for some reason. I don't know if he forgot. There was only going to be one round anyway. Liam, P17, the Aston Martin and Dark Shadow at the back. Skull Kid, Alves 15-14, Martinez, Brit Grit and Jamie. Then the top 10 from bottom to top is Carrot, Stars in P9, Adam Moore 8, Bradshaw 7, Gravedigger 6, Old Man Z 5, Immortal 4, MT 3, Kabuki 2, and TYG Rogue on pole. Bradshaw blocking. Oh dear. Well, if you've got a clip of it, Skull Kid, you can submit it to. Is that looks like a damn track? You can submit it to the stewards in the race report area. I'm sure if you need help, I suppose we've got time. So if you've got your recording, you go into where it says Steward Inquiries, and then you click the Google Doc, and then just fill out the information, then click Send, and you can get a little bit of compensation. You won't really get any compensation, but Willie Bradshaw gets a punishment for it. But it obviously it won't have any effect on this race. It will come into the next one. But there's not really much else we can do about that one, I'm afraid. We do not quite yet have the facilities for that one. Although I reckon I could do it. I can multitask. Oh, I fancy a penguin bar. Oh, I dropped my keyring. Oh, it's vanished. Here it is. Crisis averted. So, we are looking at a 56 lap, 100% race around Circuit of the Americas. And if this is going to be damp, and there's rain coming, that is going to further add to the drama. We could be here for a long time. Not that that's a problem. Have I muted this? No, I haven't. No rain showing from Alves. Okay, it just looks a bit damp on my camera. Rain for F3 last night for 20 plus laps, late safety car. It was a 98-minute race. Well, even if it is a 98-minute race, that's not a problem for me. I imagine that's why we've only got 17 drivers for tonight. They weren't really fancying it. $17 still good. 17 still good. Oh, yes, people that have turned up. Yeah, of course. I do quite like 100% races. I think it adds to like the strategy side of things. It's also going to make getting... Oh, I don't even want to think about the penalties that people are going to be getting at 100% round here with Sector 1. Gotta pump it up. Yeah, you gotta pump it up. Right. I've had enough of you lot doing your strategies now. Come on, get on with it. Got a race to do here. And I've run out of things to eat. Record so far this week is 33 seconds. What's 33 seconds? I'd love a 100% race each week. Well, nifty Nazari. I wouldn't be against it. But judging by the turnout that we've had for this one, maybe some people would be. So, oh, with penalties. Yeah, sorry, hun. I'm in... It's been a long day. I'm in my own little world today. I'm in my own little world. Not every week. Why not? Maybe there could be like a section of RSF1 for people that want to do 100% races, but then if you've got people from Div 1 and Div 4 doing it, could like branch out and have 50% divisions and 100% divisions. There we go. I've solved it. You're welcome. We've lost a viewer. Come on, boys, get on with it. I'd like 100% on certain special tracks. Spa, Silverstone, opener, finale. What about Monaco? If it was me doing Monaco, I wouldn't finish. Also... Oh! The settings are correct, so I don't need to call a restart. So, here we go. As we look at the formation that, we're just going to get all of the stuff back up. Let's look at what strategies people are implementing. And Bradshaw, Jamie, Skull Kid and Liam have started on softs. Everyone else is starting on mediums. None of the... it doesn't look like there's any teammates doing... Yeah, it's 1 Alpine, 1 AlphaTauri, 1 Ferrari and 1 Aston Martin. So it doesn't look like there's any like talking going on between teammates to do a change of a different strategy. It does seem like mediums are the way. Presumably it's going to be a medium something, or a medium hard medium, I'd imagine, on this track. There we go. So we've got medium, medium hard, and soft, medium, medium hard. So why you'd bother with the softs if you've got a if you just got to go medium, medium hard anyway? I don't know. It's not like you can whip out a double hard stint either. And TYG Rogue is just getting us round the final corner now. And we need to wait for Liam to get all the way to the top. So, reading the grid again, it's TYG Rogue in the McLaren, his teammate in P4, Kabuki P2, MT the Micey P3, Old Manzi P5, Gravedigger P6, Bradshaw P7, Mr. Adam Moore P8, Stars Orphan P9, Emotive Carrot P10, RSF1 Jamie P11, DC80 Brick Grip, my old teammate P12, Martinez P13, Alves P14, Skull Kid P15, Dark Shadow P16, and Liam P17. So I'm going to take the tyre bit off so we can see a little bit more of the screen. No, we don't. Where are the lights? 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's lights out and away we go. And it looked like Kabuki was, Rogue was a little bit late on that, and Kabuki has completely caught Rogue sleeping. Rogue looks like he's going to... he's going to go for it coming into turn 1. There's contact. That was silly. That's going to force some people wide. Cars all over the track. Rogue knocked down to P3. And Stars Orphan having to yield and let some people go. So Stars is all the way down to P12. He might even end up falling behind Martinez. Yet Stars is now behind Martinez. Stars is behind Brickgrit. I think he's taking damage. Surely Stars is taking damage. We need a better camera angle to see. Skull Kid's managed to get himself all the way up to P6. That's a great start from him. Really bad start from Immortal as well. He's down in P10. So Immortal and that looked a bit dodgy. All of a sudden we just saw a car going straight on. Skull Kid keeping hold of P5 for now. Bradshaw is going to be looking at him, though he's got a lot more speed. The two soft tyre drivers, and Bradshaw is looking like he's going to make it stick. That game. Skull Kid manages. Bradshaw went off. You can see because the camera angle just stayed looking at the wrong bit, and now Bradshaw is tumbling down the positions as well as Carrot is going to take advantage of Bradshaw. Looks like Carrot's a little bit all over the place here. Skull Kid's getting a little bit closer to MT. Can't really see what's happening with Gravedigger. Mortal's past Jamie quite far away as Kabuki sets the fastest lap. He had a fantastic getaway. Old Manzi. We got a VSC. What's happened to Martinez? Martinez is the wrong way around. We got some snail pace cars here. I'm not too sure what's happening. Martinez gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting under VSC conditions. Now, those were some interesting strategies. We're on VSC. It's not a full safety car. Martinez needs a new front wing, so I'm not too sure what happened. Maybe there was a little incident involved there, but it's not going to be a full safety car, so Martinez isn't really going to be able to get chasing the pack. Kabuki's slowed everything right down, and everyone's really close together. And I'm sure they weren't this close before. Maybe they were, and I'm just all over the shop a little bit, but we are still under VSC conditions. Not too sure why. And here we go, we're back to green. Old Manzi might be able to catch Kabuki sleeping here. We didn't want to go for the big outbreak. And Old Manzi's going to hold... Is he going to hold the position? He's forced to... Well, sort of forced wide. Yeah, Kabuki yields in the end. And Rogue goes for the little dive bomb Kabuki. And that could be a little bit of payback for jumping him in turn 1. MT the Mighty also looking at Kabuki, and Skull Kid is a little bit further behind. It looks like it's the front of the race where we're seeing a lot of things changing. To do with these two getting the actual time instead of it being minus 1 minute 52, that would be really helpful. DRS has now been enabled, so we're going to see some even more overtaking action as Skull Kid is going for a move on MT. Skull Kid on these soft tyres gets himself up to P4. He's going to be thinking this is easy, this, as he blasts his overtake button to try and get himself into the top 3. MT the Mighty much happier to just play the waiting game. Immortal trying to get past Jamie as well. Things are looking a little bit tight into the X section. We're going to go back onto MT the Mighty. There we go. And Mr. Adam Moore is getting a little bit close to Gravedigger 2. Kabuki gets past TYG Rogue. This is going to please Old Manzi, because if these two are fighting, it means he's not going to get overtaken on this section here. They're both going to pick up DRS, and it looks like Rogue is going to try and go for the overtake as well. And now he isn't. Skull Kid overtaken. And he doesn't have DRS, so that's why he's been overtaken. He goes for a little move up the inside of MT the Mighty, but MT's going to hold on to that for now. Gravedigger is going to be licking his lips at this one, with the fighting going on. We've got a moment of Carrot and DCR Brick get closer as well to the cars in front of them. As Skull Kid picks up a 3-second time penalty in 3 laps. He is the second to fall victim to that with Martinez. Kabuki is nearly a full second behind Old Manzi because of the pressure put onto him by TYG Rogue. We've got Gravedigger and Mr. Adam Moore as well getting a little bit closer. Very closer actually. We might even be able to see a move happen here. And Mr. Adam Moore gets himself very nicely in front of Gravedigger. And he was probably going to hold that going into Sector 1 as well. Bradshaw getting a little bit closer too as Brick Grit gets past Jamie. And Jamie's going to look to get past Brick Grit again. He forces Brick Grit a little bit wide, but nothing too bad. Brick Grit going up the inside, but it's going to be a little bit difficult to make something stick here. And Stars will be hoping to get a little bit closer into everyone's DRS range. Martinez sets the fastest lap in that Ferrari on the soft tyre. And RSF1 Jamie has picked up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. We've got a Motive Carrot trying to get a little bit closer to Bradshaw. Bradshaw's got the superior tyre. And I wonder if we're going to see a dive bomb from TYG Rogue. Rogue has sort of backed off Kabuki. Probably either Kabuki's been driving really well, or he's thinking to himself, I don't want to fight this guy too much, and then we lose sight of Old Manzi. So it might be 1 step backwards to take 2 forwards later. It probably also goes to show that TYG Rogue and Kabuki have both got the skill to do better than Old Manzi on pace, because they've gained 0.3 of a second. It was getting close to a minute. He hasn't used a lot of his ERS, however, Old Manzi, so there's that. Skull Kid is now holding up Mr. Adam Moore, and that is going to be a warning. Mr. Adam Moore and the rest of the pack. Gravedigger. Looks like these soft tyres sort of beginning to fall off a little bit. We'll just go back onto the tyres. Hopefully it doesn't take up too much of you guys' screen. If it gets a little bit annoying, I will take it off again as Kabuki is now right on Old Manzi's gearbox. And MT the Mighty is also not out of this one either. This is not just a top 3 thing. MT is very much there. Skull Kid getting a little bit closer to Mr. Adam Moore. Not close enough. Is Kabuki going to have a go at Old Manzi here? I wouldn't be using that overtake button just yet. Might be needing it. Unless Kabuki thinks he can just get away from Old Manzi. Which might also be the case. Is Skull Kid going to have a look at a dive bomb? No, he's not. But Gravedigger... Oh, that looked like he sort of drove across Gravedigger. Motive Carrot has gotten past Bradshaw on the medium tyre. Motive Carrot. Looks like the softs runners are starting to struggle a little bit, but I don't think softs are necessarily the right call for this one. So I don't know if that's down to driver skill or not, or just the tyre has fallen off a little bit after only 5 laps. TYG Rogue will be looking to put pressure on Old Manzi, because he'll be wanting to get past him as soon as possible to keep up his assault on Kabuki. Old Manzi goes sort of defensive, but not too defensive. Rogue might have been thinking about a dive bomb, but doesn't go for it in the end. I don't know why I changed away from that. I thought there was something going on. RSF Jamie's getting a little bit closer to Brick Grit, and he's going to go for the move up the inside. And... ooh, I've got to feel a bit sorry for Brick Grit. He's sort of being pushed all over the place by RSF1 Jamie here. He's being manhandled, and TYG Rogue picked up a time penalty. Old Manzi is losing a lot of time to Kabuki now. That DRS zone has come in just in time, as Brick Grit had to be quite close on the brakes there to keep most to stay out of damaging. I'm just going to stay on board with that one for now. See if something happens here. Old Manzi might actually be going for a move here on Kabuki. No, he's not going to. We'll go back to Brick Grit and Jamie. I don't think Brick Grit's going to be able to make anything fantastic here. Mortal has managed to get past Bradshaw as he looks to recover from his not great start, and Brick was thinking about it, but he's not give it a go for it, I don't think. No, it looks like that's going to be held. Oh, Skull Kid. Oh, Skull Kid, he's sort of all over the place here, a little bit slippy and slidey. Immortal trying to chase down Emotive Carrot now. MT the Mighty getting close to Rogue style. Xorfan picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's most unlike him. Driving down in P14, which is also most unlike him. Old Man Z. Now, this will be interesting to see if Kabuki can lose sight of the DRS zone in Sector 1. We know from previous laps, this is sort of where Old Man's has been struggling and where Kabuki has been excelling. It looks... I was going to say, it looks like Old Man's is going to stay with him. He's sort of losing it a little bit now, and that's the problem. As soon as you make one mistake, or a slight mistake, we've got a VSC that's come just in time. I'm not too sure why we have a VSC, although we have Martinez in the pits, so that might be something to do with it. And that is going to slow things right down. We might see a full house of penalties for everyone. If Kabuki's picking them up. It does look like Old Manzy's choosing caution though, over speed, over going for penalties in Sector 1. It's a long old race. There's still 49 laps to go in this one. Shouldn't have started on the softs. No, I don't think the softs were the right call. I think we are going to really see them performing badly compared to the medium tyre as we prepare to go green. I hope you guys got a good idea of what all the softs are saying. We'll have a little look at penalties. So it's 3 seconds for everyone apart from Jamie, who's got 6. But at this stage of the race, it's not really something we need to be looking at. If we look at the big winners and losers, Martinez has DNF'd, so I think he's just... I saw him drive into the pits, so I think he's decided enough is enough. And he has retired car, so it's down to Skull Kid on his debut. And it's a drive-through for Mr. Adam Moore. That was silly. And it looks like Rogue is going to try and get P1 coming into turn 1. That was a corner cut, and which means he's not going to have the most amount of pace coming into Sector 1, but he's going to hold on to it now, as Kabuki was caught sleeping on the restart, and he had a 0.8 second gap as well. So we've got a drive through from Mr. Adam Moore down in P5. That's going to absolutely ruin his race, but he has got plenty of time to make up for it. But a drive through's never really something you want to be looking at. I'm really enjoying this helicopter view that we're getting here as TYG Rogue sends us down. Oh, he's using up all of his ERS already. Kabuki using his ERS just to stay with him. Old Manzy's using it too to stay with everyone. Mr. Adam Moore just catches up to everyone. He gets himself a drive through. He'll be absolutely gutted at that. I was just reading the chat there. I'm not too sure if this is addressed to me. This is race 2 though. If that is of any help to you. Oh, what's happened? Okay, Mr. Adam Moore's coming to the pits to do service drive-through, getting it out of the way. And he's going to be towards the back, which isn't going to be any good. And Old Manzy's gone for the move on Kabuki. I think Kabuki might have made a little mistake. Kabuki holds on to P2 just about. And can Kabuki... Now, let's see who's better in Sector 1 out of Rogue and Kabuki. It looks so far like it might be Kabuki, but that didn't look fantastic from him. He's lost a lot of time. He's going to have to use his ERS to stay in DRS range, or potentially suffer to Old Manzy. He does pick up DRS, luckily for him. But he's on thin ice as TYG Rogue looks the faster driver, although he is now seeing that red flashing light. And soon Old Man's is going to see Kabuki's has a red flashing light. Immortal gets past Skull Kid. Skull Kid's softs are really starting to fall off a little bit now. Old Manzi and Kabuki getting close, as is MT the Mighty. And mounting overtake attempts here isn't the best way to stay within distance of TYG Rogue, boys. You're better off going for, at this stage of the race, you're better off going for overtakes in places where it's not going to affect your time too much. You're all sort of driving at the same pace, although Kabuki has just massively caught up to Rogue here. Not too sure what's happened with Rogue, he must have made a few mistakes. Mr. Adam Moore has come out P14 as he looks to make a move on the Stars. Stars who's stuck at the back, really. In a little train behind Dark Shadow and Jamie. Is Stars going to go for a move? No, he exercises caution instead. And this might be where he'll be able to get things to stick. Oh, it's going to be tight here, Stars. That Alpine of RSF1 Jamie is going to have to come in. Brickrit's managed to get quite clear, and Skull Kid has picked up another 3-second time penalty. Dark Shadow! Oh, my goodness me. Oh no, where are you going? Track's the other way, mate. And if that wasn't a corner cut, I don't know what is. And that is a good line, though, from Dark Shadow as he gets completely clear of RSF1 Jamie, as does Mr. Adam Moore. Which means he got clear of Stars, so I missed that one. And now Adam is going to go for the overtake on Dark Shadow, and then he's going to look at chasing down Brickrit, which I imagine he'll do quite quickly. And he gets past Dark Shadow with ease. Dark Shadow needs to watch out for an attack from Jamie. He's not going to be able to defend from Jamie. Is Stars going to have a look? Stars is not going to have a look. And it looks like Adam Moore was overtaken by Jamie, actually. But it looks like Adam is going to hold on to things going into this turn. He's probably just going to... Oh, that's a lovely move from RSF1 Jamie. And Adam's come back at him, and there's a little bit of contact between the two cars. And so far, RSF1 Jamie is proving a little bit annoying, I think, for Mr. Adam Moore. Oh, very annoying for Mr. Adam Moore. Oh, no, what was that rejoin? That was poor from RSF1 Jamie. That was... Oh, I was going to say Div 5 at its finest. Div 4 now. New name, but still the same driving from some people. Skull Kid's in the pits. He's getting on a fresh pair of... Is that hards? That's hard tyres. And RSF1 Jamie. Oh, he's looking to take Alves with him this time. So at the moment, Mr. Adam Moore has now gotten behind Stars, when Stars was the furthest behind of everyone. But they'll be probably quite pleased to be clear of this suicidal Alpine. I'm looking forward to what dive bombs he pulls out on... we got Immortal getting close to Emotive Carrot. We'll see if Immortal can make this one stick. There's not going to be anyone behind Immortal to really threaten it. Carrot isn't going to offer much of a defence. It's going to let the McLaren of Immortal go as Immortal gets himself up into P6. Championship leader, struggling a little bit today's race. Mr. Adam Moore gets past Stars. Now he can chase down Dark Shadow, who managed to get away from what was happening with RSF1 Jamie, who is not completely out of it. At least he doesn't really need to worry about Stars doing something silly. Mr. Adam Moore is getting very close to Dark Shadow. He might even get himself into the points as we get before turn 1. We shall see. I know Mr. Adam Moore's probably a faster driver than Dark Shadow, so he'll be wanting to clear Dark Shadow before the beginning of Sector 1. That's looking like it's going to be okay. Is Dark Shadow going to come back at it? No, Dark Shadow isn't, but Dark Shadow has underfueled, but has 100% ERS. So I think Dark Shadow's gambling on a safety car. That's with a VSC as well from Dark Shadows. That is massively underfueling. Now, is Mr. Adam Moore going to be able to get away from Dark Shadow so that he can go and get Brick Grit without worry? Or is Dark Shadow going to just go and overtake him on the straight? RSF1 Jamie picks up a 3-second time penalty. And let's have a look. We've got MT the Mighty getting close to Kabuki, so we'll have a look at that. They've already finished, so we'll go back down here to Dark Shadow looking at Mr. Adam Moore. He's gone full ERS. Adam's got his ERS activated as well, but I don't think he's going to be able to hold back from the Alfa Romeo. Oh, that's a horrible angle. And that's a good defence from Mr. Adam Moore. He manages to keep Dark Shadow at bay. There wasn't anything Styles was ever going to be able to do to that. Looks like there's a little bit of a gap creating now. TYG Rogue, has he pitted? Has he pitted or just made a mistake? He hasn't pitted, he just made a mistake. So TYG, something happened with TYG Rogue. Apologies for missing that one. He's going to come into pit now. A little bit of a gap between Old Manzi and MT. That's why I noticed it. Something happened with Rogue. Rogue is... he's off now, he's onto the hard tyre. Immortal getting a little bit close to Gravedigger, the other McLaren. And those hard tyres, I don't know, they might be good for a good 20 laps maybe. The mediums are lost in 12, he might be going for a hard. Get it onto lap 30. No, really don't know. I think that's a little bit of an early one maybe to come off the mediums. Got to take them a little bit longer than that. I don't know, I can't do that right now. MT the Mighty takes the lead of the race, looks to squeeze Kabuki. He's got a few marbles on his right tyre. He's giving Kabuki enough room. Kabuki's going to get the inside line coming into here. Is he going to get him on the comeback around? Yes, he is. He's got a lot more traction there as Kabuki picks up a 3-second time penalty and gets overtaken. Disaster for Kabuki. Dark Shadow has gotten past Mr. Adam Moore. It looked like it might have been a little bit of a dive bomb. We're just going to drive on board with this one. Mr. Adam Moore up into 10, but that's actually not up, that's down because he was P9. Looks like Mr. Adam Moore is going to be looking at overtaking him here and then trying to lose him in the S section, but I don't think Dark Shadow is going to be going down that easily. Kabuki doesn't go for the overtake there. RSF1 picks up a 3-second time penalty. And there's a little bit of a train forming here with Dark Shadow, Mr. Adam Moore, Styles Orphan, Alves and Jamie. Skull Kid a little bit further behind, Liam and Rogue a little bit more behind as Rogue picks up another 3-second time penalty. I think he's on 9 seconds now, if I remember rightly. No, 6 seconds. We have got 12 seconds from Jamie and 9 from Dark Shadow. Things are going to get a little bit like it, I think. Old Manzi going to be looking for an overtake maybe on Kabuki, but I don't think he's going to be able to make it stick. He's not even going for it either. Kabuki is going to try and get himself back into the lead. It's not going to work. And MT the Mighty is going to hold on to P1 for now in the Mercedes. He was just sort of sitting there watching and waiting. Liam is see-through. I don't know why. Probably an AI, I guess. As Kabuki and MT the Mighty get a little bit closer to each other. Old Manzi's also there. He's got a good seat for it. As all three of the cars come through the start-finish line. And Kabuki gets into P1 going into turn 1. There's still 40 laps to go. Yeah, 40 laps to go. 41 laps to go. MT the Mighty getting a little bit closer into Sector 1. Kabuki likes Sector 1. Brickgrit getting a little bit closer to Bradshaw. I've got to imagine those soft tyres are starting to fall off a little bit now. They've taken a little bit of a punishment. So we'd expect Brick Grit to maybe get a move to happen here. There's not really anyone else for Brick Grit to worry about, but he's running strong in P8, but Skull Kid and Rogue have pitted. I think Rogue's come in too early, he must have taken damage. Is Brick Grit going for it here? Bradshaw is going all out to defend. He doesn't want to get stuck behind Brick Grit going into Sector 3. It looks as though things are going to be okay for him. Stars gets one overtake. Can he get it? Oh, you could have. I think you could have made that, Stars. I think you could have made it. Nice double overtake. Maybe it was tactical. Maybe he wants some DRS. Try and get past Adam Moore on the main straight. We'll go back to the front where Kabuki looks to try and take the lead, and he's got a great run there on MT. DRS activated as well. And he makes it stick. Brick Grit has now gotten past Bradshaw, who's pitted. That's why Bradshaw's softs have had enough, and that's why I think RSF1 Jamie and Dark Shadow still running. Well, sorry, RSF1 Jamie and Bradshaw were still running the softs for as long as they did. I think Rogue has pitted too early onto those hards. I think it's going to ruin the whole strategy. And Dark Shadow picks up a 3-second time penalty again. I think it's again. No, it isn't again, is it? Liam gets past Jamie at the back. So Jamie has retired. So Jamie has decided enough is enough. Thought I saw a little bit of damage maybe come off of Old Mansy's car, but maybe not. No, it's looking okay. Alves getting close to Dark Shadow. And Dark Shadow did manage to get DRS, so he's going to be okay. Kabuki leads the Grand Prix then as we hit lap 16, or about to hit lap 17, but on lap 16 that ends, it's Kabuki leading the Grand Prix. Stars Orphan is getting closer to Mr. Adam Moore. Bit of a wide line from Stars. It doesn't look like there's going to be much of a move happening there. There's a lot of overtakes going on that are then just being swapped around the next lap. Skull Kid picks up another 3-second time penalty. Mr. Adam Moore's little peloton is coming through. Well, it's not actually Mr. Adam Moore, it's Alves' peloton that's coming through. Rogue has managed to catch up to everyone else now. He'll be looking to try and get moves done on Skull Kid and Dark Shadow and Alves to get past these drivers as soon as he can and get himself back into the points. He's going to need to get away from them because he does have penalties. Luckily for him, a lot of people do as well. We're going to ride on board with Stars Orphan because he's getting a little bit closer to Mr. Adam Moore, but Stars does seem to be losing him a little bit in Sector 1. MT's managed to lose Old Mansy. And Old Mansy is out of DRS range, which might leave him vulnerable to Gravedigger. Gravedigger can catch him now that he's not going to be dragged along by DRS, although these two fighting is going to give him a chance to catch back up. He's out of DRS range for now. We're going to stay on board with him just to see. We've got TYG Rogue, who is getting past Skull Kid. He's going to try and get past Dark Shadow as well. Dark Shadow's not going to bother defending that one too hard. Doesn't activate DRS, and now Rogue will chase down Alves, and he's got the better tyre than the cars around him. Well, the fresher tyre at least. And MT the Mighty is in the pits. Lap 16, pitting for MT the Mighty as he's going to be looking to do a little undercut, and I wonder if that's going to make some of the other drivers consider an undercut as well. I think that there's another Mercedes coming in of Carrot. I think MT's going to be okay to come out in front of Brick Grit. It's quite important that he comes out in front of Brick Grit. Brick Grit's pitting anyway, so that's going to help as well. Mr. Adam Moore is not pitting, but I think he's going to come out in front of Adam. Yes, he is. So MT the Mighty comes out P5, that's a lovely place for him to come out. He can just get the most out of these fresh mediums that he'll probably look to take till lap 36 and then go for a 20 lap stint on the hards. Lap 17 is a bit early from Petronas. Can we go to the leader? Yes we can, sorry, there you go. Yes, Rogue did pit, that's why he's down in P8. Something happened to Rogue, which led him to go down to P6, then he had to pit again. But MT has now got plenty of open ground, he's far enough away from Mr. Adam Moore as well, and he's got better tyres. As Gravedigger and Immortal are having a little bit of a scrap. Are we going to see Kabuki, Old Manzi, Gravedigger or Immortal come in to fit fresh softs? Sorry, fresh tyres. It's not going to be softs, is it? And sort of guard from the undercut. So Gravedigger has decided to guard on the undercut. Kabuki and Old Manzi staying out. That look like the greatest pit entry. MT is going to come out in front of Gravedigger. There's Mr. Adam Moore who's coming in as well. He's got to come out in front of Stars, and it looks like things are going to be a bit tight. And he is going to come out behind Stars, but and behind Rogue as well. It's not really where Gravedigger wanted to be. And we've got a VSC. Oh, now would be the perfect time to pit. If Kabuki and Old Manzi and Immortal can all pit now. Dark Shadow's out. Where did he lose it? He lost it around here. Oh, yeah, it doesn't have a tyre. It doesn't have a tyre as we rode on board with Liam there. So Dark Shadow out of the race. He lost it. 21, 21, 14. That seems. I'm not usually a big fan of going anywhere near the soft tyre, to be honest. What's happened? We've lost someone, haven't we? DRS is now enabled, so we're back up to racing speed. So they weren't able to use most of the safety car, but I don't think Dark Shadow was Dark Shadow all the way up here? I don't think he was. Maybe he was. It would make sense if he was, actually. So MT the Mighty, yeah, I think he was. So are we going to see Kabuki come in now? Kabuki stays out. Old Manzi is coming in. And Old Manzi is most likely going to come out in front of Rogue. They didn't necessarily take the pit lane fantastically there. We're going to have a look at Gravedigger and Rogue, and we're also going to keep an eye on where Old Manzi is on the track map as MT gets past where he is. I think Old Manzi's going to be okay to stay in front of Rogue, as it looked like Gravedigger was losing it there. Yes, he is. He's okay. I can just see the Red Bull coming out of the pits now. So Old Manzi stays in front of TYG Rogue, and he's got the better tyres, so he can now get away. Same as with MT the Mighty. I think Kabuki and Immortal need to bring these cars in now, unless they're doing the Petronas strategy of 21, 21, 14 for the medium, medium, soft, which might be what they're doing. I think a medium, medium, hard is a better strategy. We've got Skull Kid getting a little bit close to Stars. We know Skull Kid is no stranger to having a go, and Stars is no stranger for not having a go. So we could potentially see Gravedigger making a move on TYG Rogue. You'd expect Gravedigger to get this one done with that flashing red light and the superior tyres. He's forced Rogue off the track a little bit. Rogue's going to have better traction coming into the next turn. Gravedigger stuck. Oh, a little bit of contact between Gravedigger and Rogue. Gravedigger should have probably used his ARS to get past Rogue. Now he's going to be further behind him again. And we've got Immortal and Kabuki in the pits. Gravedigger and Rogue might help them both out, but I think now that SMT the Mighty sets the fastest lap. I think they're both going to come out behind Rogue and Gravedigger, and if they get stuck behind Skull Kid, Stars, Carrot and Bradshaw, that's really not looking good. So Rogue, they might be okay actually, they might be okay. Immortal is out now. Immortal's going to come in behind Gravedigger but in front of Skull Kid, that's important. So Immortal on the fresher mediums. So no one doing for the medium soft. It looks like everyone's doing a medium hard of the front drivers, or medium hard medium. I imagine Rogue might try and make those hards last a little bit longer than what would be expected, as will maybe Skull Kid. I think if Rogue started off on mediums, I think the mediums are only good for what did I say before? 18 laps. So that means he needs to get those hards to go till lap 38. Is my math correct? No, yeah, maybe 38. Why can't I think? No, it's... No, yeah, it's 38. If you can get them to lap 38, I think... Oh, God, I'm making a right embarrassment of myself. I'm a history student, not a math student. Anyway, I've gotten sidetracked, and now we're losing track of Gravedigger and Rogue's fight. Gravedigger needs to get past TYG Rogue as soon as he can, because in a minute, Rogue's going to be picking up DRS from Kabuki. He's actually picked up DRS from Kabuki already. And now, is Gravedigger going to go for the move? No, he's not. He's going to stay stuck behind Rogue. He needs to get past Rogue as soon as he can, because Immortal's catching him. Rogue's doing a great job for his teammate here. We've got a motive Carrot and Skull Kid getting a little bit close, but it looks like this is the fight to watch. Something happening at the bottom there with Alves and Liam. Yeah, they're having a little bit of a fight. And now I think Gravedigger's going to learn from his mistakes and use his ARS to get past Rogue. Rogue's not going to use his ARS to defend it. Gravedigger is up into P4, and he can now attempt to chase down Kabuki. And now Rogue's going to be under pressure from his teammate. I wonder if team orders are going to come in and be like, yeah, you go. You need to stay with these guys. Doesn't look like it's going to for now. I don't think Immortal's going to have to. I don't think Immortal's going to have to try too hard to get past Rogue. Skull Kid and Carrot. I think Skull Kid might have made a mistake. So I don't think that was. Oh, that was a harsh one. That was a really harsh one for Carrot to pick up a times penalty there. Immortal's getting closer to Rogue. Rogue's 10 lap old hards. A little bit worse for wear, and I think he needs to add another 13 laps to those. Yeah, another 13 laps. So if you can take those to 23 laps total, I think you can then be okay. It makes you wonder how much time he's going to lose. I don't actually think he's going to lose that many positions by doing that. I think he'll be okay to stay in front of Carrot and Skull Kid. Might have to watch out for Adam. Stars is having a bit of a horror show down in P12 as he picks up another 3-second penalty, speaking of the devil. And now got to assume that Rogue isn't going to use his ERS to defend from it. He's just going to let his teammate go, but he has now got a 2-second penalty, a 2-second gap to go and close down now onto Gravedigger, and hopefully for the McLaren boys and my predictions, Rogue isn't going to attack Immortal, at least, because I need Immortal to get back towards the top. The drivers have sort of, well, Skull Kid's just fallen off massively. The drivers have sort of sort of space themselves out a little bit now. We've got Skull Kid and Bradshaw getting quite close together. I'd imagine Mr. Adam Moore is going to get closer to Skull Kid a little bit more as time goes on. Skull Kid kicks up another 3-second time penalty. So far it's just MT, Old Manzy, Immortal Alves and Liam who haven't picked up time penalties. Everyone else guilty of it. And Skull Kid always looked to send it down the inside of Bradshaw. I wonder if Bradshaw had his heart in his mouth for that one. Doesn't look... Well, at least we can be interested here to see if Rogue attacks Immortal, or if they just think, oh, it's my teammate, I'm just going to let him go. Skull Kid's losing a lot of time now to Bradshaw. I think he's made a mistake, probably. And Mr. Adam Moore is going to probably be... Yeah, he is now in DRS range. We're just going to have a look at Rogue, see if he pushes. He's not using his ERS. He is using his DRS. Is he going to get close enough to go for the overtake? Again, no, I don't think he's going to... Not going to... No, we're going to be okay. Now Mr. Adam Moore is going to breeze past Skull Kid. That actually gives Skull Kid the inside line going into the next corner. Skull Kid trying to get back into the slipstream. He doesn't go for a dive bomb. I think Skull Kid is... I think those hard... He's really struggling out on those hards. He's going to have to make them last a little bit longer than 13 laps though. If you can't make hards in the last 13 laps, you're going to be a bit in trouble. It looks like Brick Grit is going to be... Stars is having an absolute nightmare. 7.5 seconds. Brick Grit getting closer and closer to Skull Kid. Brick Grit might be able to get himself into... Get some points for the Williams driver. Immortal and Rogue is now a 1.4 difference. And Immortal and Gravedigger is now 1.5 difference. It looks like Immortal's made a little mistake, so that went up to 1.5. Now Rogue's made a mistake, so it's gone up to 1.7. From 1.2. So, penalties. It's a lot of people on 6. Kabuki, Gravedigger, Rogue and Carrot on 6. Bradshaw on 3. Adam on 3. Skull Kid on 12. Brick Grit on 3. Stars on 6. Stop. Everyone has stopped once. Position changes. It's quite similar to what we had in qualifying, really. Rogue's had the biggest tumble, Skull Kid's had the biggest gain. Apart from that, there's not a lot changing. Times they are not changing. We'll go back to the tyre so you guys can have a look at that. Excuse me, I had a little yawn, but we're ready to roll again. Oh, Skull Kid looking to get back on Brick Grit, but he doesn't manage to make it stick. Immortal has now gotten very close. Oh no, Skull Kid! What have you done to my boy? And now Brick Grit, who was like 5-6 seconds clear, I think it might have even been 7.5 at one point, is now... I'm fuming. It always happens to my boy Brick Grit. Did he won a race? Yeah, he won a race last season. Absolutely buzzing for him. Stars is going to put Brick Grit under pressure now, or is he? Or is he? Yeah, no, he is. Stars might even make the overtake happen here. He's being very cautious here, Stars. He's probably just going to wait to take him at the main straight, which is probably the right thing to do, and it's probably something Skull Kid should take a leaf out of his book for. I think we'll have a look at what Immortal and Gravedigger's doing, because they're on the straight. The straight bit. I think that's the technical term for it, as he's using a lot of his ERS to make this happen. Gravedigger is just going to let it happen, and now Immortal is up into P4. So MT the Mighty's undercut has worked absolutely brilliantly. He came out into clear traffic on his fresh mediums, and he's now 5.6 seconds clear of Old Manzy. Kabuki and Immortal have got 3 lap fresher tyres. And Old Mansy's got 2 lap fresher tyres. But I don't think that's going to make that much of a difference. I think unless we get a safety car, I don't think there's much that's going to shake this one up now, really. Gravedigger has now lost quite a lot of time to Immortal in this S section. Immortal has the pace, and we're just going to we'll keep an eye on the distance between Immortal and Kabuki, because a lot of the front 4 have all got a lot of space between each other, and then things get a little bit closer with Gravedigger, and then Rogue is quite far behind. Then Carrot's quite far behind, and then Bradshaw's quite far behind, and Adam's getting close to Bradshaw. But this could be a potential overtake. The next potential overtake coming up. Stars is getting close to Skull Kid too. Brickgritter's properly fallen off now. I feel a bit sorry for him. Stars, so we have got Mr. Cautious against Mr. Risk. I wouldn't be surprised if Stars goes for a move here and then backs out of it, and then Skull Kid still manages to dive bomb. Stars backing out of the move again. Adam is getting close to Bradshaw though, so we'll ride on board with that one. Is that the halfway point? That is! We're at the halfway point of this race now, which means that if we were doing a 50% race, this would be the final finishing standings. But we are halfway. Adam trying to get things to happen. It looks like Stars is actually going to go for an overtake! Well done on Stars, and Skull Kid's just going. Stars. Skull Kid back into P10. Rogue's got another 3-second time penalty. That's not very good. Might mean that Carrot is, I think it might be a 9 and a 6, which means that he's now under pressure from Carrot. If we get a safety, like a later safety car, that's going to completely ruin everyone who's got a penalty. But the difference between Immortal and Kabuki is now 3.3 seconds when it was 4.5 seconds. I think it was 2 laps ago. So Immortal is slowly but surely making a dent into Kabuki's time. It looks like Old Manzy isn't really able to keep up with MT. It looks like Kabuki isn't really able to keep up with Old Manzy and MT, but Immortal might be the only man who can actually challenge MT, but is he a little bit too far behind? If Immortal manages to stick out to the optimum strategy, as it were, then maybe we're going to start nearing the next round of pit stops in a few laps or so. We're about 5, 6, 7, 8 laps. We're going to start getting some more pit stops, so that will hopefully shake things up a little bit. There's not a lot of trains going on. There's a Bradshaw Adam thing a little bit close, and then there's Stars, Skull Kid and Brickgrit. Always a little bit further behind, and then Liam's even further behind. Well, Liam's a ghost anyway, I think. And it looks like Bradshaw's lost the time that he did manage to get. Stars have managed to get past Skull Kid now. So he'll be relieved at that one. And now all of the drivers are quite far away, although Brickgrit is getting close to Skull Kid. Brickgrit, who could easily be in P10. Skull Kid's made a little mistake there. He went a little bit wide. Is Brickgrit going to go for it? Oh, he's not going to get DRS. Is he going to go for it anyway? Skull Kid's used up all of his ERS. Looks like Brickgrit might be going for it. No, he just wanted to, I think, brake safely. or he just thought about it and then changed his mind. It's now 3.1 seconds, the gap between Kabuki and... 2.9 seconds now, the gap between Kabuki and Immortal. Immortal has got the pace. I think he's got... he's certainly got enough pace for a podium because Kabuki's got penalties, but... has he got enough to go and get Old Manzi and MT? Because Kabuki is losing a lot of time as well. I don't know... I need to remember the... okay, we're on 6.5 with Kabuki and Old Manzi. 3.5 Old Manzi and MT. So 6.5, 3.5 and 2.9. Those are the gaps to remember. Brick is going to pick up ERS. Right on board with Brick Grit. As it looks like that's the only real place we're going to be getting an overtake. But we need to keep an eye on those times. Immortal's back up to 3.1, so I think he's made a little mistake, but we're not going to look at it every, 2 seconds. We're just going to have to try and remember it. I think it was 3.5, 6.5, 2.9. And then we can have a rough idea of whether or not people are catching MT, who's catching MT, who's MT falling away, pulling away from. I do believe if MT was to pit, he ends up behind... I think he'll come out between Carrot and Rogue. No, Gravedigger and Rogue, sorry. Maybe. And Brick Grit has now gotten past Skull Kid. And is Skull Kid going to come back for it? I wouldn't be surprised. He does like it. He's positioned his car... oh, it's the exact same place again, boys. Oh! Brick Grit's giving him a little push as well. Have a taste of your own medicine, son. Now we're going to ride on ball with Skull Kid to see if he can come back. We've got Mr. Adam always 1.6 behind Carrot. That lead's coming down. Immortal stayed 3 seconds behind. Old Manzi has got 2.9, so that Old Manzi and MT's gap's coming down. Kabuki 5.9. Was it 5.5 or 6.5? I forgot. I think it was 6.5. So all of the cars are actually getting a little bit close together in that top half. Immortal's down to 2.8 now. The cars at the front are slowly getting close together. There's a yellow flag in Sector 1. What's happened? I'm not too sure. Oh, I think maybe Adam and Carrot's now in front. Well, we got... I think there's something happened with maybe Rogue and Adam. Or it might have just been Rogue, actually. Yeah, no, it was just Rogue. Rogue's made a mistake again. And now he's still got to take those hard tyres for a little bit longer yet. And Adam trying to get past TYG Rogue. Rogue is struggling when the 6-lap fresher hard tyres. I'm not surprised. But he pitted too early from the mediums. He pitted on lap 13, I think, from his mediums. That's just too early. That's like... there were soft drivers who were running longer. Which means now he's struggling for this stint of the race. I don't know if he had to pit because he had damage, but Rogue's consistency once again proving to be a problem, and Rogue is now in the pits. So presumably there's damage there from TYG Rogue. Skull Kid gets another 3-second time penalty. I wonder if Rogue's going to go for a soft. That's probably the only thing that you can do if you've got a pit now. He's gone for medium tyre. Maybe a medium soft. I don't think he's going to get 24 laps out of those mediums. So we've had a prediction: 1 Immortal, 2 Mighty, 3 Manzi. You think the mediums make it 24 laps? With Rogue, who struggles on 13 lap mediums? I think they make it. I don't know if he makes it. We've got 3.1, the difference between MT and Old Manzi. That's come down. Kabuki's brought it down to 5.3. Immortal's down to 1.9. Things are getting closer. And Mr. Adamore is now going to make the move stick on... well, needs to make the move on Carrot. Probably stick because he's getting very deep into this next corner. Or not deep, very far away, sorry. And Carrot is now down in P7. Adam P6. Rogue has come out P12. He's between Skull Kid and Alves, and he should catch Skull Kid with relative ease. Brick will be praying he gets in front of Skull Kid and manages to create a little bit more of a gap. Mr. Adam picks up a 3-second time penalty, so that's not going to be ideal for him. And Skull Kid goes a little bit deep there, giving Rogue plenty of time to catch up. Emotive Carrot is now 0.8 behind Mr. Adam Moore. Yeah, I don't think Carrot's going to be in the DRS. Oh, and then Rogue looks like he's going to try and make this stick. I don't think Carrot's going to make it into the DRS zone onto the long straight. Rogue is going to make this stick on Skull Kid. Is Skull Kid going to have enough in the tank to bring it back? I don't think even Skull Kid's going to try that one. No, he's not. So Rogue is now going to chase down Brick Grit on 15 lap old hard tyres. Skull Kid on 22 lap old hard tyres. I've got to commend Skull Kid for taking those as far as Rogue couldn't. Yeah, Rogue and Brick Grit. Oh, you got to be careful here, boys. You got to be careful here. And Rogue, I think he's going to pick up DRS here. Keep an eye. Yeah, he is going to get DRS anyway. Now he's got 12 seconds to go and catch Star's Orphan. Immortal has now got within striking distance of Kabuki, and that might then mean that Immortal carries Kabuki up to Old Manzi. It's a 5.6 gap, which I think has actually gone up, hasn't it? Old Manzi is now only 2.5 behind MT. That has definitely gone down. It's now 5.8. I think Kabuki's really struggling here. Immortal is doing a fantastic job, and I think Kabuki's big chance now is to just use Kabuki to DRS off of each other to get a little bit further up. But I don't really think, unless we get a safety car or some drama, it's going to make much of a difference for Kabuki because of his time penalties. I think he is fourth. Carrot is now 0.6 behind Mr. Adam Moore, so something's happened there. Brick Grit, Brick Grit's pitting. Skull Kid's taken his hard tyres to lap 23. Oh, sorry, to 23 laps. Stars is getting a little bit close to Bradshaw. Immortal is now very close to Kabuki, and Kabuki holds the line. Not keen to let Immortal go. Bradshaw getting a little bit close to Carrot, Stars getting a little bit close to Bradshaw, and Alves getting a little bit close to Skull Kid, so things are now getting, well, closer. Isn't really able to make an overtake happen here. It's almost like Kabuki started driving properly now that there's other drivers around him. But having said that, he has just made a little mistake going into turn 1. This is great driving from Immortal. If there's anyone out there watching this who isn't too sure how to take this sector, just watch that on repeat. That's brilliant from Immortal. T-Wedgie Rogue picks up the fastest lap. Stars is getting a bit close to Bradshaw. Doesn't make the move stick. We're going to go back onto the battle for third though. Kabuki is using his ERS. Immortal, not so much. It's now a 5.8 gap between Kabuki and... Oh no! Immortal's lost it slightly. Stars... Is Stars going to go for the overtake on Bradshaw? Bradshaw's not going to have a DRS. Is Stars going to go for it? He actually might. Stars is actually going for the overtake. Here we go. Stars, is he going to make it stick? It looks like he's going to be okay. He's gone very deep there, though. Is Bradshaw going to come back at him? I don't think he is. Rogue's getting a little bit closer. Skull Kid picks up a 3-second time penalty. Rogue's closed down a whole second between Bradshaw and Stars. MT is in the pits. He's pitted for hards. MT is going to try and take those hards 20 laps. I think he'll be fine. I think MT's looking good. He comes out with plenty of clear track in front of him. Gravedigger nowhere near him. I think this is looking really good for MT. How are the other drivers going to respond? Because now he's going to be lapping faster than they are. Surely they've all got a pit. Surely they've all got a pit. Regardless of those 15 lap mediums, you've got a pit, you've got to go for the win. You've got to copy what MT's doing. Unless they're going to go for a medium soft. That might be the play. To try and get the mediums up to lap 40 and then go for a soft. I think I'd rather just follow MT, really. Old Manzi was making good progress on him. I'd get that in right now. We're going to just stay on board with Old Manzi and see what he does. See if he's going to bring it in or not. That is a line of a man staying out. What's Kabuki going to do? It looks like they're all deciding to stay out. Now that might be music to MT's ears, because now we can get closer and closer. Oh no, sorry, Kabuki's in the pits. I missed it. I could have sworn he would... That must have been a late call. Anyway, Kabuki in the pits. He's gone for hards. I think that might be the right call for Kabuki. I think it's certainly the right call for Old Manzig. I think Old Manzig's got more pace. And I think Immortal's got more pace. Kabuki, oh, he's come out behind Gravedigger. That's not what he wanted. Gravedigger will have to come in. He's behind Gravedigger, but he's 3 seconds behind Gravedigger. So he's still got a little bit of open track. It's not like he's going to be stuck behind like a train of people. Rogue is getting close to Stars. There's a little train coming on here, actually, between Adam, Carrot, Stars and Rogue. That's a nice helmet. And Rogue gets past Stars. And now Rogue's going to be looking at Carrot. Rogue, who started P1 today, he'll be a bit disappointed with how this race has gone, I think. And it's DRS activated for both Carrot and Rogue. Could Mr. Adam Moore be getting overtaken twice? I don't think he's even going to get overtaken once, let alone twice. And Rogue goes for the overtake on the Motive Carrot, and Rogue makes it stick. That's a great move from Rogue. And now he might be going for Adam as well. And the Immortal and Old Manzi stay out. They might be embracing the medium soft strategy. If they still feel like they've got the pace, why not? But MT's only 6.8 behind. And Kabuki has passed Gravedigger. Gravedigger's coming into the pit. I wonder what tyres he's gonna put on. It's hard tyres. Rogue is now past Adam. I don't know if Rogue can take those mediums to the end. He might not have a choice. But I don't know if they're going to be very performative for him. Carrot trying to get close to Adam. Carrot and Adam is going to be sort of on the same strategy. Gravedigger in the hard tyre, as we saw. And there's plenty of a gap between Bradshaw Stars. And Skull Kid's retired. He's decided that's enough for his first race. 37 laps, that will do him. So Skull Kid retiring. Brick Grit getting close to Alves. Brick Grit's gone for the soft tyre. I wonder if Brick Grit's going for a double soft. Or if he's just going to try and take them to the end, he might just try and take them to the end. No, he can't take them to the end. To the end. Surely not. So things have sort of a little bit of a gap between the drivers again. Closest gap other than the battle for P11 is Carrot and Adam. Brick Grit is now getting close to Stars. Stars on fresh hards. And Carrot picks up a 3-second time penalty. Now everyone from P4 to 12 has a time penalty. Liam's a bot, so it doesn't count. Adam's in the pits. Adam and Carrot are both in the pits. That'll be for mediums. So the Mercedes pit crew get the mediums on. The Haas pit crew get the mediums on. Bradshaw's going to come out in front of them. Oh, and they're probably going to come out behind Stars. Yeah, they're going to be... Oh, maybe not. One of them's going to be behind Stars. Adam's okay. Carrot isn't. Carrot does keep out in front of Alves though. Brick Grit and Stars get between them. That's going to keep the cars a little bit close together. Captain Obvious. Stars looking to chase down Adam. I don't think he's going to be able to get him though. Adam has got a lot more pace today and he's got the better tyre. MT up into P3, he's only 3.1 seconds now behind Immortal on the mediums. MT on fresh rubber is brilliant. It looks like Immortal and Old Manzi. And is that a pit from Immortal? No, I thought it was a pit from Immortal, my mistake. Old Manzi. An 8-point gap between MT and Old Manzi. MT's going to be licking his lips. Kabuki's miles behind. Rogue bringing it across the line. P5. I mean, surely Immortal... Oh, Manzi's picked up a 3-second time penalty. That might be huge for Immortal. But surely now, Immortal and Old Manzi have got to leave it out for the soft tyres. Now that they've stayed out for so long, there's no point going on to another pair of... They can't go on to another pair of mediums. There's no point going on to hards for 16 laps. They've got to now then go for the softs. So I'm pretty sure they've both done a medium. Yeah, that's right. MT is going to have a pit stop in hand soon. We've basically already got it, really, from Immortal. Stars trying to get a little bit closer to Adam. Adam hasn't pulled away as I expected him to. Stars has done a good job on those hard tyres for the Red Bull. And is he going to go for the move, I wonder? Well, Adam's got plenty to defend if he needs to. Carrot gets past Brick Grit. Carrot is going to make that one stick. Stars doesn't go for it. Carrot picks up a 3-second time penalty again. Stars is staying in good touching distance of Mr. Adam Moore. And Brick Grit and his softs trying to stay with Carrot. There's points up for grabs here, Brick Grit. And Alves is a little bit too far behind. Alves is on now fresh softs. He's going to try and take them for 15 laps. He'll make that easily. I think, I don't know if Brick Grit's 22 laps on soft seems a little bit much. I've never done a full race before, so has taken it. So it's taken a toll on me and making me like, oh dear. Alright, okay, Skull Kid, yeah, never mind. Next week, it'll be back to 50%, so you can have a little break in qualifying as well. You would have lasted the full distance if it wasn't a full race. But if it makes you feel any better, My first race was a DNF round here as well, in a car that had a Ferrari engine. He lasted longer than I did, so I got DNF'd. It was, if anyone cares, it was, oh, what's happened here? Okay, so we have a soft from Old Manzi, soft presumably from Immortal. Yeah, here we go, it's game on. Old Manzi and Immortal to chase down MT. They have 14 laps. And Old Manzi keeps it out in front of Kabuki. That's huge. Oh, they're very tight. Immortal's a little bit further behind, but we know he's got plenty of pace. I think Immortal might have the most amount of actual just raw pace. Kabuki doesn't quite manage to get there, so Old Manzi can now... He's got 14 laps to go a second a lap faster than Old Manzi on average. I think Old Manzi might be able to make it happen. I think the medium soft might have been the one, but Immortal's a little bit... I don't know if Immortal's going to be able to make it happen. If Immortal does make it... Oh, he's then got to pull a 3-second gap on MT. MT is looking pretty from Old Manzi. I think if it was the other way around and Immortal was in P2, or if just if Immortal had penalties and Old Manzi didn't, I think it's looking good for whoever would be P2 without the penalty, but P4 without the penalties, it looks like it's going to be a podium for Immortal. I don't think there's going to be much else than that. It's a 12.6 second gap now, so this gap is coming down, but it's going to come down quite quickly to begin with, and then it's going to get slower and slower to come down as time goes on. We're now going to see which strategy is the best, the medium hard or the medium soft. And the cars, oh no, Stars Orphan and Emotive Carrot are quite close together as they chase down Bradshaw. Immortal is going to start chasing, or he's going to start eating into that time by Kabuki. Old Manzi's brought it down to an 11.1 second gap now to MT. I wonder what MT is thinking right now. Well, presumably he'll get a podium, so we can ask him. Is Stars going to go for the move? Is Stars over caution perhaps going to lead to him losing a place to Carrot? Looks like Stars is going to have the better traction coming out here. Oh, maybe not. Carrot and Stars swapping places. Oh! Stars sort of just drove into Carrot's path there. Immortal is now in DRS range of Kabuki. And we're going to go and ride on board with that one now, because I think this is going to be a more important overtake in the grand scheme of things for the race. We're just going to have a look at penalties. 6 seconds for Kabuki, 3 for Old Manzi, 9 for Rogue, 9 for Gravedigger, 6 for Adam, 3 for Bradshaw, 9 for Stars, 15 for Carrot, only 3 for Brick Grit and Alves though, and Immortal, is he going to get this to stick? Yeah, he is. He's going to have the superior traction coming out of the turn, and now Immortal can set his sights on trying to catch Old Manzi. He's 5.2 seconds behind Old Manzi. With the penalty, he's had to sacrifice half a second there to not take a 3-second penalty. The penalty is going to make things a little bit more difficult. He needs to close down the gap to Old Manzi to be in chance of a win. Well, there we go. I've cursed him. I am so sorry. MT is now the only driver without a penalty. And now it is probably, well, it's definitely advantage Old Manzi, I think. Now that Immortal's done that, he'll be absolutely furious with himself. To have gone 45 laps. Or to have done it on lap 45, I guess. Well, at the end of lap 44, rather. He'll be furious. That's a Liam between the drivers there. Is Kabuki going to get some DRS? He is going to get some DRS. I don't think he's going to be able to make a move stick. Oh, he's 1.3 seconds behind now. I don't think he's going to be able to make a move stick. But I think Kabuki will probably take a P4. I think those in the chat who were saying medium, soft were the ones. I think MT's just put in an almighty drive. I think MT's done well with the medium, hard strategy because he's pitted at the just absolute best times. Carrot is getting close to stars. We'll see if Carrot can make anything happen on stars. Not that it's really going to make too much of a difference. But Carrot should be okay for P10 though. Brick Grit is quite far behind. I think Brick Grit's on fresh tyres again. Yeah, Brick Grit has gone for another fresh of softs. And he's got to be 12 seconds behind Carrot. And he's currently about 19 to 20 seconds behind Carrot. So we've got 8 seconds to make up in 10 laps. It's doable. It's definitely doable for Brick Grit. He might be able to get some points. We'll have to keep an eye on that one. We'll just go back to the tyres so that people can see the time on the tyres. It's a 5-second gap between Old Manzi and Immortal, so that time is coming down. It's now 4.8 seconds. I don't think Old Manzi's really eating into MT's time as much as he... well, not as much as he needs to, because he then needs to pull a 3-second gap. It's 7.3 seconds at the moment between MT and Old Manzi. It's closing down... Needs 11 seconds if he wants to win. He does. Carrot picks up another 3-second time penalty, so that is going to be music to Brick Grit's ears. And the thing is, in Brick Grit's position, is he's not going to see at the moment what Carrot's penalties are. So someone needs to tell Brick Grit, just keep pushing. Just keep pushing. You're in with a chance of getting points. Stay on board, I think. Well, we'll go and have a look at what's happening with Stars and Carrot, just so we have some cars a little bit close together. Get a nice little cinematic camera angle as well. Brick Grit is eating down into that time, which I think he might have actually got now. Yeah, no, it needs to be a 15-second difference. Brick Grit is currently about that's about 2 seconds. About 18 seconds behind, so he needs to pull 3 seconds in 9 laps. That should be easily doable for Brick Grit. There's points on here for him if he wants to go and get them. I think he's fast enough to keep Alves behind, and Liam is a bot, so should be looking okay. Old Man's is now 6.6 seconds behind MT. Immortal's 4.6 seconds behind Old Manzi. Both of the gaps are slowly but surely coming down. I don't think it's going to be enough. MT just needs to keep things between the lines. We'll have a look at the Mercedes driver. I haven't seen much of him. since the beginning of the race, because he's just been in clean traffic the whole time. He's using a lot of his ERS though. I think he's trying to do as much as he can to keep the drivers behind him, so that they don't get within striking distance too quickly, and so that if they do get close to him, those soft tyres aren't going to be able to get away from him fast enough. So it doesn't matter if he can't defend from them. He's just going to sort of use DRS, to stay within DRS range and make sure he doesn't get 3 seconds pulled on him. I think he's looking okay, MT, at the moment, but those times coming down are going to be a little bit of a worry for him. It's now 5.4 seconds with 8 laps to go, and then 4.5 seconds between Immortal and Old Manzi. And you can just see Old Manzi at the back there of the camera. Stars and Carrot going on the main straight now, but I don't really think there's going to be too much going on there. I was just waiting to see Stars has overtaken. Mr. Adam Moore picks up a 3-second time penalty. He is in P7, so let's see how that affects things. That's 9 seconds worth of penalties for Adam, and Stars has got 9 as well. Bradshaw... yeah, I don't think that's going to affect him. Brick Grit's picked up a 3-second time penalty, so now Brick Grit needs to start pushing again. I still think Brick Grit's going to be okay. This is a bit of a long race, you're right, but it's okay. Oh, I don't think they... I'm still going with biscuits, don't you worry about it. I've got a glass of water with me. It looks like the main interesting battles now are going to be the battle for the last points between who gets it between Carrot and Brick Grit. At the moment, that's a 2.4. Add that on 15-second gap. So yeah, that needs to come down to about 10 seconds. I think the gap between Brick Grit and Bradshaw for Brick Grit to get a point. Points mean prizes. Of course, if MT picks up a 3-second time penalty, which I'm rather sure he's not going to, then that's going to blow this race wide open. It's now 4.1 seconds. It was 4.5, so the gap is only coming down by half a second a lap at the moment. So it's still going to be enough for him to be within striking distance. But maybe not enough to pull a gap. It does seem like, to me, MT has been the fastest driver on track today. And although it might not look like it because he's losing time to soft tyre drivers. I think he's done a great job. And I think he deserves the win for it, to be honest. I'm always a big fan of people doing things tactically, and I think that the way MT has gone about it today has been perfect. Carrot's picked up another 3-second time penalty, so now that is really going to damage Carrot. And now it's a 12-second gap between Brick Grit and Bradshaw. 2 seconds between that, so 14 seconds and another 15 seconds. 8. So at the moment, Brick Grit is in the points, and he's in them quite comfortably. Carrot might be thinking, oh, it's okay if the looking at the map and seeing where Carrot is. The Carrot has now just lost a place to Stars, which now means that Brick Grit can see 21 seconds, and that might give him a little bit of second wind to go on the attack. Let's just have a look at tyres again and see how old some of these tyres are. We've got 14 lap old mediums from Bradshaw, 6 lap old softs from Brick Grit, and then at the top we've got 8 lap old softs. These are really going to start to come down now. 2.8 seconds is the gap between Old Manzi and MT the Mighty. 3.2 between Immortal. I think Immortal has been faster than Old Man Z and Kabuki today. Not quite faster than MT, but I think he's been faster than Old Man Z and Kabuki drives around it. So I think it's a bit of a shame for Immortal that he isn't the one closer. I'm not too sure what happened now with that. A safety car would absolutely ruin Old Man Z and Immortal. A safety car would be the absolute worst thing, I think, for certainly for Carrot. Carrot wouldn't even be close to getting points. It would ruin Brickgrit a little bit because the drivers around him have got less time penalties. And then there's a lot of 9 seconds. It would sort of ruin Kabuki, I think. Well, I don't know, Kabuki's just 4th either way, but I think the only thing a safety car would do would be change Immortal and Old Man Z around. I think a safety car just guarantees MT a win. Because then he can come in, he can pit for softs. He's only going to, like, the worst case scenario, he's not going to come... If safety car came out now, he'd come out 3rd, or at least 4th. And he'd have fresh softs, so he'd just be able to get past Kabuki, Immortal and Old Man Z if they didn't pit. So a safety car would make things a little bit more dramatic for us, but I don't think would have much of an effect on the end of the race. As Bradshaw's gotten close to Carrot, and I've just almost completely... Carrot's gotten out of the way. Carrot is now 10 seconds only in front of Brickgrit, and it's a 15-second penalty difference. So Brickgrit is okay for points for now. If he picks up another 3-second time penalty, things are going to get a little bit worrying, but as things stand, it's all good for Brickgrit and Williams getting a point. Immortal is now very close to Old Man Z, and I wonder what's going to happen with this. Is Immortal going to get past Old Man Z quite quickly? Or is Old Man Z going to let Immortal go and be like, I think you've got a little bit more pace, and then just use a DRS train? Doesn't look like that's what Old Man Z's thinking for now. But then if you let a driver go who's faster than you, you run the risk of just being out of it completely. If Immortal can get past Old Man Z quickly, I think... No, there's no chance he goes and wins it because of the 3-second time penalties, but he's really done himself over with that 3-second time penalty. Such a poor one to get as well. And Carrot has now gone behind Brickgrit. I'm not too sure what happened to Carrot. Something happened. Must have had a spin somewhere. I missed that, my apologies. We'll go back to the battle for second. As there are only 3 laps remaining, I think MT is looking good. I think Immortal might be the bigger threat, and all the while Immortal is stuck behind Old Man Z. He's going to have another run at DRS. He's going to have 2 laps to try and make a 2-second gap and then pull a 3-second gap. It's not really going to happen, is it? Unless MT makes a mistake and gets a time penalty. And Immortal's put his car in an absolutely brilliant position here. He's not even going to use ERS. Old Man Z's not going to defend using ERS. Oh, my mistake. Is he going to come back at him? No. And now Immortal is now 2.4 seconds behind MT. Is sort of looking like it's going to fall out this one, although Mr. Adam Moore has caught up Gravedigger. We could potentially see Mr. Adam Moore move up to P6. Immortal will need this though. Stay in front of Old Manzi. Keep himself at the top of the championship. A P1 and a P2 is not a bad start at all. Mr. Adam Moore gets past Gravedigger. It's now a 1.9 gap between Immortal and Old Manzi. Old Manzi not going to attack going down to turn 1. He's too far away anyway. Just going to see if I can find the standings. So it's Gravedigger who's P3 in the championship. He had a good race last time out in I've forgotten where it was now. It was only last week. Never mind. Oh, where were we last week? It's going to make me look at this, isn't it? I can't even find the calendar now. I'm having a mare. 3-second time penalty, Carrot. It's not going to make much of a difference. It was Qatar. Of course it was Qatar. Let's go back to F4 standings. Oh, MT finished. He got a DNF, I think, last time out. So, could be a good win for MT. It's not over yet. I think it's going to be, but it's not over yet. Maybe MT will panic. And Immortal's now going to be seeing that flashing red light and licking his lips. Is Old Manzi going to get the ERS is there for Old Manzi. So if there hadn't been 3-second time penalties, this would be absolutely brilliant. What an end to the race this would be if there weren't the 3-second time penalties on Immortal and Old Manzi. Can we just take them off for the spectacle? Can we check how many laps they've done on their tyres? Well, I've had it on that. Oh no, I haven't. I've had it on penalties. I'm so sorry. There you go, tyres. So we've got 19 laps on MT, 13 for Immortal and Old Manzi on the softs, 18 for Kabuki. Rogues managed to actually take those mediums to 23 laps without smashing it somewhere, as he's just lapped Liam. And Immortal, surely he's got to try and make the move happen here. MT's used up all of his ARS, he goes defensive, he sends Immortal around the outside. Immortal's going to try and get the traction, but MT's done a brilliant job of positioning his car there. Old Manzi's a little bit too far behind. I'm just going to pretend, and I want MT to pretend, that, you know, win it on track, mate. Win it on track. Do whatever it takes to win it on track. Just pretend that the 3-second time penalties aren't there. I want a spectacle. We know Immortal's going to go for the overtake. Immortal's going to try and make things happen here, because if he's going to pull a 3-second gap, it's got to be here. MT's got more ERS, and it looks like he's going to keep this into turn 1 as well. Immortal not going for the attack. Oh, he lost it a little bit. It's now a 0.6 gap. Up to 0.8 now, and now Old Manzi's closer to Immortal. Old Manzi might not be out of this one yet completely either. Oh, he made a little mistake there. Now he might be. Is he going to get DRS? He's going to do everything he can to get DRS. Immortal's going to get DRS too. They both get DRS. We're going to ride on board with Immortal. We're going to spectate Immortal at least. MT's using up all of his ERS. He's kept the car in front. He was only really under pressure from Immortal on the last lap. And Emotive Carrot has set the fastest lap, but it's not gonna matter. So whoever Carrot's just taken fastest lap from is going to be fuming. Oh, little mistake from Immortal, and can Old Manzi capitalise on it? From looking like he was going to win the race, Immortal might drop down to 3rd. Is Old Manzi going to have a go? Not going to happen, I don't think. No, it's going to be an MT win on track. Just about. Immortal P2, Old Manzi P3. And what a race we've seen. And there's not really anything else that's close between the drivers. That was the slight little bit of drama at the end. We'll go back to the penalties. Is Bradshaw is going to get the position off of Stars, I think. So it's going to be P8 for Bradshaw. I don't think he's going to get Gravedigger though. No, he's not going to get Gravedigger. Stars is seconds behind Gravedigger. I think that's Liam's car, the Aston Martin. No, it isn't. It doesn't seem that long, but Mr. Adam Moore takes a checker flag. Gravedigger is about to. There he is, only 0.9 behind Mr. Adam Moore. That was close. Stars takes a checkered flag. I think Bradshaw's going to be okay for P8. Yes, he is. Now it's Brick Grit to cross the line. He gets P10. Is Alves going to get P11 off of Carrot? Probably. This will be the last person to cross the line. Oh, I think I just saw a little change there. Yeah, I just watched it back on stream. I think Alves did get the position off of Carrot, moving himself up to P11. So that was an interesting race. I enjoyed myself. I hope you guys did too. It's 10:15. We celebrate watching MT with his trophy and the champagne, and we see Old Manzi and Immortal back on the podium. So congratulations to MT the Mighty in the Mercedes. He's driven an absolutely brilliant drive there. We've got Immortal, we've got P2, and Old Manzi P3 in the Red Bull, Kabuki P4, Rogue P5, Mr. Adam Moore P6, Gravedigger P7, Bradshaw P8, Stars Wolf P9, Brick Grit P10, Alves P11, Amosa Carrot P12, Liam P13, but was a bot, and then Skull Kid, Dark Shadow, RSF1 Jamie and Martinez, both DNF. Oh, sorry, not both DNF, all three DNF. I'm going to try and get some people in the party. I forgot to get Old Manzi in. Oh, not forgot, but I didn't have time. I think Old Manzi's on this account's friends list anyway. No, he's not, unless he appears offline. Where are you, Old Manzi? There he is. No, not stop spectating. Oh god, what am I doing? View gamer card. I wouldn't be surprised if people haven't got an interview in them, but we'll see. Oh, someone's it. MT's it. Immortal's it. Lovely stuff.
I'll be back in 1 minute. I just need to grab a drink.
Okay, no problem.
Sweating buckets.
Yep, no problem. I don't think we're going to be getting MT by the looks of things. We'll give it another few more seconds. Right, so Immortal's gone for a drink, so we'll start off with Mr. P1, MT. Congratulations on the win. I thought you've been...
Thank you very much.
An absolutely brilliant drive. Oh, I was there. Sorry.
So I was...
We'll end with you. Yeah. And Old Manzi is here now. So, hello, Old Manzi.
Hello.
Back on the podium.
Yeah, man.
So, P3, you happy with that, or not really?
Yeah, very happy with that. I mean, I could have done I mean, the win was on for the at one point, but yeah, podium's happy after 56 laps. I'll take that.
Yeah, I imagine. Presumably qualifying feels like a long way away.
Yeah, qualifying. What was that?
Yeah. So, why did you decide to go for the medium soft strategy? I mean, it sort of showed to pay out, but what was your thinking behind it before it paid out?
Because I saved a set of softs in quali. I only did 2 runs, so it was always on from the start. I don't like hard to run this track, so.
You sort of decided from the beginning then that it was going to be a medium soft regardless.
Yeah, it didn't matter what happened.
Yeah.
I mean, unless we had a proper safety car early on, I might have put the R's on, but we didn't. We only had VSCs, fortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, at least we didn't get safety cars.
Yes, it was a clear straight run to the end, really, pretty much.
Yeah. Which I think made things a little bit more interesting for a pit stop strategy perspective.
Yeah.
Meant people could actually stick to their strategies.
Yeah, it definitely brought strategy into it, I think.
Yeah. Is Immortal back from his drink yet?
I am here.
Right, well, congratulations on P2. Probably quite important to get that P2 and stay P1 in the championship. What are your overall thoughts?
I got lucky.
Well, how so?
Well, I obviously didn't start very well, and then I got lucky with the everyone was 1.5 seconds between each driver as I was coming up to them, so it kind of used the DRS, overtake one, next lap, go on the back of him, overtake that one. Otherwise, the front lot were gone. And then MT, I thought he was gone. The amount of seconds ahead he was, and then luckily strategy was pretty good. Shout out to Rogue because I didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing. And yeah, just I thought Manzi was gonna drive away because when we came out of the pits, he put in the fastest lap and he was gone. But yeah.
I made a load of errors when you caught up that big chunk of time. I made a massive mistake.
Yeah, you should have. Yeah, I think had you not made the errors, I wouldn't have caught you.
Yeah. It is what it is.
It was a good race.
Yeah,
we made it to the end, so that's always.
Yeah. I like to tell all 3 of us virtually cross the line together. That.
Yeah, that made things quite good from the spectators' point of view. Where you picked up the 3-second penalty quite late, Immortal. Did you think it would matter when you picked it up? Did you have your sights set on a win at the time? Because I was thinking, oh no, that's gonna be music to the ears of MT when you picked that one up.
Well, I didn't think we'd get anywhere near MT, to be honest.
But yeah.
So when I picked it up,
you were saying.
Old Manzi, I think he was 5 seconds ahead and had 3 seconds, so I was only actually 2 seconds behind him. And I was like, right, I can do this. And then I got the 3 seconds, I was like, I might not be able to do this. Especially the pace he had when he first put on the softs. I just seemed to have the pace towards the end of the softs. Then I don't know if he had air in his tyres, because that might have worn his tyres a bit more than mine.
Yeah,
I did think you were the second fastest driver on track today. If that's any
MT definitely smashed it.
Right, yeah. So we'll get on to the race winner, who did a different strategy to the 2 podium people. What were you thinking, MT? Any thoughts for the win?
I'm absolutely ecstatic. It's only my second ever win.
Oh wow!
Honestly, watching the last 5 laps, I kind of knew that I had the win on penalties, but I didn't think I was going to win on track.
Yeah.
But that second to last lap, I think I defended really well and made a slight gap, which gave me an advantage on the last lap just to hold it.
Yeah, there was a little mistake from Immortal might have been turn 1. Lost the car a little bit, or it might have been the final turn. So much has happened that race, my brain just stopped working now.
Yeah, I was just focusing as hard as I could on just keeping it within the lines. I had 2 warnings. I got my first on like lap 19, and I got my
Oh,
second
don't say
one
things
on
like
lap
that.
46.
You make me. I was even close to a win.
That's what I was thinking.
Honestly, at one point, I honestly thought I was just like, I could feel my legs going at one point. Like, I was just knackered and sweating, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep this within the lines. I was trying to push as hard as I could on my first 10 laps on the hards to try and make a big enough gap, especially when the gap was coming down when I undercutted onto the hards. Like them going as long as they did on the mediums probably benefited me quite a lot.
Yeah.
But then obviously they had to go longer for the softs. So,
Yeah.
but
I didn't know when to pit box. That was a problem.
But it was like,
think
yeah,
you
no,
all
it's
played
crazy.
I think for your strategies, you all played it pretty perfectly, which shows with the track position. So
Yeah, I was worried at the end.
well
I thought
done
my
to all,
strategy
yeah.
was the wrong call. I've never done a 100% race around Koa, so I didn't know how long the softs would last.
Yeah.
At one point, I think it was like lap 53. I'm like shouting at my TV. I'm like, "How are their softs still going?"
Well, it was telling me to pit lap 34 for the softs. I think that's too soft. Too early, sorry. I've got to at least get to lap 40. And then Immortal didn't pit. And I thought, oh, I want to go another lap. Then at that one extra lap, that was definitely tired. So I had to pit that lap. But then Immortal followed me, so I figured I'm doing something right.
I know, I was just following you, mate. I ain't got a clue what I'm doing.
I had no idea.
Yeah, well done, GG everyone. That was a really good race.
yeah, well done everyone. It was a pleasure to commentate on as well.
That was fun.
And I'll probably be seeing a lot of you, or some of you, next week.
Hopefully after
track
last
is it
week.
next week?
It's Las Vegas, I think.
It's
And
Vegas.
there's a sprint, if I remember
Yeah.
rightly.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Vegas sprint.
So I hope you all join us for next week, and see you next week. Bye bye.